Hey guys, Big Films 39 here with my movie review of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now I'm giving you this review as someone who is not a lifelong Star Wars fan. I saw all of the I saw all of the original films when I was really young, years and years ago. I was too young to really remember much about them and never really saw them again after I watched them the first time. I saw all of the prequels in theaters, never really enjoyed those movies too much. I wasn't excited or intrigued by them, and same thing, I didn't really remember them too well and never rewatched them a second time. But about a month ago, in anticipation of Star Wars The Force Awakens, I rewatched all 6 Star Wars films, and I immediately recognized, what I had been missing all these years and why Star Wars is one of the most respected and adored film franchises of all time. The original films were so good. It's a great story. They're great adventures, and you have really lovable characters. And of course, the prequels I found very disappointing. Some bright spots here and there, but really overall, big letdowns and nowhere near as good as the original films. So going into The Force Awakens, I just wanted this film to be on par with the originals, and it absolutely was. I thought this was a beautiful movie, easily the best movie I've seen this year. And what they did right was they gave us very lovable characters, very interesting characters that we could really be invested in, and we want to root for them and follow their story. The characters of Rey and Finn are extremely lovable, interesting characters with really intriguing backstories that the film doesn't even fully flesh out, and that makes me very excited for the future films because I hope we get to see more of their backstories, where they came from. They kind of just hint and tease, at least Finn's character. He kind of briefly mentions some of his past life, and I found it all just very intriguing. But Finn, played by John Boyega, this guy's probably my favorite character of the movie. He's a stormtrooper who has a change of heart, and that alone is a very interesting plot element because in all of the other previous Star Wars films, we never even got to see a stormtrooper unmasked. So to have this real character behind the stormtrooper outfit who has a change of heart, and he progresses throughout the movie, becomes more and more a good guy, joining the resistance. I love that, and John Boyega gave an incredible performance in this movie. Same thing with Rey, played by Daisy Ridley, who I thought was just gorgeous, by the way. She was very nice to look at through the entire film, but she also gave a really awesome performance. Her character is very lovable as well. She just feels like a genuinely good person that you want to see succeed. She has kind of this hard life on her planet. She's a scavenger looking for parts, and that scene that we got in the trailer, you see that early on in the movie when you're just introduced to her character. It really allows you to become invested in her. You see her struggle and her way of life, and for her to become part of this great adventure in the Star Wars galaxy, it was really great, and it was an easy story and an easy character to really get invested in. So I love the characters of Finn and Rey. Now, having these really lovable characters not only made watching their character development and their adventure play out very enjoyable, but it made all the action scenes that much easier to get invested in, and really made them feel more epic than they would be if you didn't know who these characters are. And that was a huge problem, I thought, in the prequels, where you had these really kind of lifeless characters like Qui-Gon Jinn, even Obi-Wan Kenobi, who we loved from A New Hope, but was still just kind of this guy without much of a personality, just kind of a soulless mentor, taking orders from everyone, not really having a life of his own. And even Anakin Skywalker, who was, given a really bad actor to portray the character. None of these characters you really felt that invested in the prequels, and even though the action scenes were really big, really well choreographed, some really cool lightsaber battles, you just didn't really get behind them because you didn't care about the characters that were participating in these action scenes. And they really fixed that with The Force Awakens. Seeing Rey and Finn in these action scenes, you really rooted for them. It made the action scenes that much more suspenseful. You really cared about, if these characters were going to survive or not. So I really loved that. The action scenes themselves were not as big and not as well choreographed. They didn't feel as polished as in the prequels. But it's really not about that. It's about, do you care about these actors? Do these action scenes have an emotional pull to them? And they absolutely did in The Force Awakens. The action scenes weren't only enjoyable because of the lovable characters in them, but the action scenes and the entire movie, for that matter, was just stunning, visually stunning, beautiful to look at. Going back to practical sets, practical costumes, it's such a breath of fresh air from modern day Hollywood, where everything is just totally overdone with CGI. Everything looks fake. Using all the practical props and sets, everything looks real. It just gives the movie so much life. All of the innovative stuff that George Lucas did to film the original films, bringing that stuff back for The Force Awakens. I absolutely loved it. And you can just tell there's a huge difference with The Force Awakens visually, and just comparing it to the prequels where you had all the CGI droids, CGI stormtroopers, or just any other movie really today in Hollywood, that uses big action scenes and, CGI. This movie using practical sets, practical outfits, it really is something special. So I totally commend the filmmakers and everyone, the director, everyone behind this movie for doing that. It really made the movie visually very appealing and a real work of art. So visually the movie was beautiful, and all the practical sets and all of that made the action scenes really great, and you felt like you were watching one of the original Star Wars films. Now finally, let's talk about the main villain of the movie, Kylo Ren, who we were all super intrigued by watching the trailer a year ago. We all want to know his identity, and I will not spoil that here at all, but Kylo Ren is the villain. I absolutely loved him. I love his look. You might say it's a bit of a Darth Vader copycat in terms of just how he looks visually, but as a villain, he was amazing. He was very dark, sinister, brutal. He really exerts his power and force in this movie. He causes a lot of harm. A lot of people die at his hands, and is just a very menacing character. He is not the same as Darth Vader in the sense that his character is still a work in progress. He's still developing, and once he's unmasked, you will see that, if you haven't seen the movie already, figuring that out for yourself. His character is he's still trying to figure things out. He's, trying to really convert to the dark side, and it makes his character interesting, another character to get invested in. Also another great reason we have to be invested in the action scenes, but just as a really ruthless, sinister, dark villain, I thought he was perfect. One aspect of the villains in the movie was that I didn't like was that Kylo Ren is not the head of the First Order, just as Darth Vader. He was beneath Darth Sidious in the originals. Kylo Ren here, his master is General Snoke, who you know, everyone's complaining that he was like the one CGI sore thumb that stuck out in the movie, and I agree with that, but really the main reason I did not like this character was just because he was some like giant 100-foot tall alien looking dude, and you know, I was like, where did this guy come from? What's he doing here? I just thought he felt kind of out of place. You know, he wasn't really on the ground doing anything. He was just, you know, in some hole in the spaceship, and Kylo Ren was the one doing everything on the ground, and I thought that Snoke was just kind of a distraction from Kylo Ren. So that was the one weak aspect of the villain aspect of the movie. The pacing of The Force Awakens was near perfect. A few moments in the movie where things got a little slow, a bit dull. They tried to flesh out some more of the story, some more character development stuff. But overall, it was a massive improvement over the pacing in the prequels. Those movies were bogged down way too much by a bunch of really needless dialogue, really, you know, boring conversation and exposition that just completely took you out of the movie. The Force Awakens, you know, super well paced. All of the big action scenes flowed seamlessly pretty much, and you know, each scene kind of flowed into the other really well. I thought the pacing was great. You know, very few moments in this movie where you know, I felt that the movie was going along sluggishly. So I thought the pacing was fantastic. Now finally, let's talk about the story. I haven't even touched the plot yet. And I'm not going to here. I don't want to tell you anything. I think Star Wars, it's just one of those franchises that you have to go into it blind if you truly want to appreciate everything. The trailer really didn't give away anything, in terms of the actual story. I will just say that I really enjoyed it. It felt like a great adventure, really a throwback to A New Hope, where you're introduced to these new characters, really lovable characters, and they just go on this great, big, fantastic journey. Things tied in very well to the original films. Obviously, this is episode 7, picks up after episode 6. So did a great job of tying into that universe and tying into those old characters. And of course, we got Harrison Ford back as Han Solo and Chewbacca. A great touch, another connection to the older films. And it was great to have those characters, another pair of lovable characters in the movie. But the plot I just enjoyed as a really great adventure. I'm really excited for the future films. Go see it for yourself if you haven't already. I'm probably going to see it a second time because I loved it so much. But Star Wars The Force Awakens, it improved everything that the prequels got wrong. Really lovable characters, a great adventure, great action scenes, great practical use of practical sets and costumes. I loved it. Star Wars Force Awakens gets an A. This is the movie poster of the film that I want to share with you guys. I got this through Disney Movie Rewards. It's very big, 40 by 27. I framed it and I love it. You get to see all of the characters there. So I just want to share that with you guys. Love the movie. Glad I got the poster. And one more final thing I want to share with you guys. This is an app that I've been promoting in all of my videos. It's called Shopkick, and it's really great for us movie collectors because it's completely free to join and use. When you walk into your favorite stores where you do your movie shopping, like Target, Best Buy, Walmart, you open up the app and you earn points just for walking through the door, and you can use these points to earn gift cards, and it's just great for us movie collectors. We get just for going shopping, we can earn some gift cards to buy more movies. So I highly recommend it. Check that out. Download it through my link in the description. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Happy holidays, and go see Star Wars The Force Awakens. Even if you've already seen it, go see it for a second time. Take care, you guys. Bye.